top button. Gibble is yours. What do we do?
Want to do a check?
Yeah, as long as it's green. Yep. Green. Oh, yours is currently red. Tap it one more time. There you go. There you go. Boom. Done. Good.
No, he's controlling it. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
So they're not live now.
Hello. Yes, they can hear me. What if I have to...
Everybody, please join us in the main room. The main room, please. The program is about to begin. Everyone, please do us a great favor and silence those cell phones while you're here, so that way all the folks who are pitching tonight have a fair shot at getting their voice heard. Thank you. If everyone's ready, please welcome Jason Stanball to the stage.
That's quite the introduction. I should be welcoming you all. You should be welcoming me. But, well, anyway, guys, welcome to the third annual Carroll Biz Challenge finale. Let's give that a round of applause. And as you already know, I am Jason Stanball, the founder and CEO of Startup Local, and it is an honor and a privilege for me to be hosting this program once again. But my first order of business, though, is that on behalf of the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce and Startup Local, we just want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us this evening as we celebrate local innovation and entrepreneurship in a way that is second to none here in Maryland. Now, just like we have done every year since 2012, tonight you are going to hear 7 outstanding local entrepreneurs pitch their business ideas and then, as a reward, get grilled by our 4 contest judges. And then after all is said and done, one deserving entrepreneur is going to walk away with that big $5,000 check and an equally large smile going from ear to ear. But tonight, and the moments that are going to follow this evening, have been many, many months in the making. Each year, the Carroll Biz Challenge kicks off in August, and I see a lot of friends and colleagues out in the crowd, and you all kindly stop me and ask me and say, hey, Jason, how's that Carroll Biz going? And normally, I'm cautiously optimistic. Well, maybe sometimes I hype it up, but normally I'm cautiously optimistic. But tonight, I believe I can finally boldly summarize to you what the third annual Carroll Biz Challenge has been like, and that is in 2 words: record-breaking. This year, yeah, woohoo to that. Let's give that a round of applause. We had 27 applicants from all over Carroll County enter this year's competition. We have a record-breaking crowd of over 180 folks here live tonight to see the show, and we are giving away a record-breaking $8,000 to entrepreneurs tonight to help them to start and grow their businesses. Now, what led to this record-breaking success, you ask? Of course, there was a lot of hard work and a lot of help. I want to give a shout out to Bonnie Nordvet and Aaron Giles on my team. They did a phenomenal job this year. But also to the Chamber. Yeah, let's give them a round of applause. You guys are keeping me in check. I love that. It makes this really, really easy. But also my friends at the Chamber, all 27 of our sponsors, and a special shout out to GSA Systems for doing the cocktail hour. We got Chili's, who is doing an awesome job with the food. And by the way, they are changing up the lines to allow more people to experience more food faster during the intermission. But let's give a shout out to Chili's. And also my friend Chris Bartosik from Raptor Productions for bringing the entertainment tonight. Let's give him a round of applause. And so there was a lot of hard work and a lot of help. And again, just thank you to all of you. And even if you didn't sponsor or weren't doing something here tonight, know that referring an entrepreneur to this competition or inviting folks to come is really how we spread this experience. So thank you for that. But in addition to all that hard work and help, there's a lot of really intense planning that goes into this, a lot of deep thoughts and highly intellectual conversation. And so I thought it would be fitting to give you guys a glimpse into that planning process. And so take a look at this clip of Mike McMullen and I, who's the president of the Chamber, talking about the Carroll Biz Challenge a few months ago.
Cheers. Cheers. So Jason, here we are at Lorden's. This is where it all started a couple years ago. You pitched the Carroll Biz Challenge, and the rest is history. What are we going to do this year to spice things up, though?
I don't know, man. I mean, the question is, what are you gonna do? I mean, we've got free applications. We have the applicant meet and greet for the applicants to mix it up with sponsors. I paid to sponsor a PM Connection,
That's right.
where we're gonna unveil the finalists live, and we're hosting this thing at Cre-a-tv Studios this year.
Cre-a-tv Studios, man. It's going to be like Shark Tank.
Exactly.
It's going to be awesome. But we need a little something more.
You know what? I think we got the perfect idea.
What is it?
How about you go full cowboy, dressed up on stage as a cowboy, so that you are really embodying the frontier and enterprising spirit
How
of our
about you
local
forget it,
entrepreneurs.
dude? This is a chamber function. I'm the president. I'm not going to dress up like a cowboy.
Professional.
Drink
president.
up and forget about that one.
Oh, you're too much, Mike.
Dude, that first one was so cool. It was so exciting, wasn't it?
Oh my God, we had such a great group of applicants. I had no idea. We had critical response management. It was run by Mike Jordan, not the basketball player, but we had also Holistic Home Energy, who won with Sean Schmidt. We had Laura Ruby from Optimum Wellness Center. We had Kevin Gifford, a teacher at Liberty High School, who was pitching We Learn. And who's the fifth?
Oh man, it was my favorite. It was Hélène from the French Twist. I love her crepes.
Oh my God, Hélène, it's so good to see you.
Where?
Oh my gosh.
How are you?
I saw a message on Facebook. Thank you so much for dropping me off a crepe and a coffee. Oh, you're wonderful.
It's so
Oh,
nice
Len,
to
it's
see
great
you.
to
Hey,
see
Mike.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope to see you at the Biz Challenge this year.
Yeah, me too. I'm so excited. Okay,
Take
see
care.
ya.
Oh man.
Where's my crepe? This sucks.
Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised we didn't get a lawsuit slapped on us last year with those muffin bomb folks chucking muffins into
Oh
the
my
audience.
gosh, you were just jealous because you're on that diet and couldn't eat a muffin. That's all your problem.
But I
was.
wasn't on a diet with the soap from the Silver Linings Lavender Prom because I didn't eat that, and that was good
But
stuff.
there you go. But come on, we're off topic here. So get back to the meeting. So I propose that to spice up, you dress up like a cowboy. How about this? You dress up like an alien because entrepreneurs are so out of this world. Or I got it. You dress up like a fairy princess because entrepreneurs are so magical. That's what you should do.
Okay. How many beers have you had here? An alien might be kind of cool, like Darth Vader, something like that. But a fairy princess, dude, this is a.
You
I'm
just
a
don't like any of my
chamber
ideas.
president.
You don't like any of my
It's
ideas.
not happening.
You don't like any of my ideas.
Well, okay.
Oh my goodness. excited.
Oh my God, it's been the greatest meeting I've had all month long, dude.
Oh my gosh.
What are we meeting about again?
Oh wait, I got it. This is the Carroll Biz Challenge. We're talking about how we can spice it up this year. That's what we were talking about.
Dude,
That's
I got a brilliant idea.
I'm
It's
listening.
brilliant.
I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening. I'm with you.
I walk out on stage in the beginning
Seeing it.
dressed
Seeing
like a
it.
fairy princess,
Oh.
alien, cowboy.
Oh my gosh, I love that idea. That's
We're gonna nail it, dude. We're gonna nail it. Awesome.
Freaking events.
Awesome.
Please welcome to the stage presidents of the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce, Mike McMullen. Woo!
All I can say is don't ever negotiate anything with Jason Stambaugh at O'Lorden's over about 10 pints of Guinness. That's not, or you're going to end up looking like I look right now. That's all I'm going to say. Why am I dressed like this? This is pretty sick. This got an excellent laugh. We are so proud and excited. I like this sword. Isn't this a cool sword? This is a cool sword. We are so proud to be able to host the 3rd annual Carroll Biz Challenge. We've been there since the start, and it's a great event. It's probably one of the best events that we do all year long. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We look at that as a way that we can work to really support the entrepreneurs that are here in Carroll. And we've been doing stuff for 90 years. This is our 90th year where we support the business community and entrepreneurs by helping to give them an actual peer group. But these last couple years, with some infusions from this guy, and if this sword were real, I might take off your feet. He's brought to us things like the Carroll Biz Challenge, the CCPS Biz Challenge, where we did one for the schools, for the kids in high school. We're going to do that again for this next year. Our new Carroll Entrepreneur Connection Group that's designed strictly for entrepreneurs. So we've been doing a lot of stuff for entrepreneurs. But Mr. Stambaugh here, he's your MC for the night. I know he was introduced, but I want to introduce him a little bit more to you as a member of the board, a business owner, an entrepreneur extraordinaire, a good friend of mine. He likes cigars too. And I just think we need to give this guy like a real round of applause here, okay? So I'm going to get off the stage here real soon because I don't want to be wearing this all the time. But I'm not wearing this for I may keep the hat on, though. When you look at the garb that I'm wearing, it's kind of silly, but if you can remember, entrepreneurs are kind of like this, right? They're a little bit foolish. Sometimes their ideas, folks might say, that's never going to work. But they have perseverance and passion, and they make it work. Entrepreneurs are very much like a cowboy, you know? Those folks way back that, went out west could have stayed in the east, in the cities with a nice job and not had to worry about going out on the frontier where they might get killed. Well, a lot of people who are entrepreneurs could stay working in a job and probably get paid a decent check. Work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, get the weekends off, get the evenings off, and not have to worry about, am I going to have a job? Am I going to be able to pay for the folks that I've hired? So entrepreneurs are very much like a cowboy. They're very much that frontier spirit. So that's what most of the outfit is. Alien, it's pretty cool. They're like in outer space. They're out there. They're very, very creative. And so when we thought about, where's McCabe Lowe? He's here somewhere. He gave me this sword. Entrepreneurs, it's like they have the Force, right? The Force is with them. So that's what the Star Wars sword is like. The Force is with them. And the magical part, I think when an entrepreneur really realizes that they're an entrepreneur and embraces it and starts up their own gig and hires others, it's like magic happens. So, isn't this sweet? I like this. So, I'm not going to share with you all that I think about entrepreneurs. I did enough. Wouldn't it be nice to hear what some other folks might think about entrepreneurs? So, I'm going to see if this little magic wand works. It costs $1. But I'm going to see if I can wave the wand, and maybe you guys could be beamed in the opinions of some others as far as what they think about entrepreneurs. So we're going to wave the wand and see it. Magic.
Hi, I'm Jason Stambaugh, founder and CEO of Startup Local, and we're here tonight at the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce. It's Fall Fest, Midnight Madness is about to happen, but right now is one of the Chamber's signature events, the PM Connections they do to help folks in the county build the relationships that they need to make their business successful. And I want to find out what they think of entrepreneurship. Mr. McMullen, so who is the first person that comes to mind when I ask you to name an entrepreneur?
Well, there's so many, but I would have to say Anne Marie Rose Nesbitt from AMR Jewelry.
Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, locally, Dave Johansen.
Wayne Dyer.
I'd say Steve Jobs.
Bill Gates.
Don McCombie from No Worries IT.
Steve Jobs.
Well, I think of people like Steve Jobs.
Jason Stambaugh.
Jason Stembaugh.
An entrepreneur, you.
Donald Trump, I would say.
Donald Trump.
Napoleon Hill. You know, I would say Andrew Carnegie.
Doug. Heck. Bill Gates.
What is the number one characteristic that you believe an entrepreneur needs to be successful?
I think vision and perseverance.
Determination, commitment, and credibility.
It takes using your inner power, your inner confidence, and allowing that to flow from you. So it really is your belief in what you do and who you are that creates your success.
To be successful, they need to have communication, and they need to be able to communicate with their staff.
I think they need to be innovative, and they also be creative and be a risk taker.
Big vision.
I'd probably say passion behind what they're doing to make sure that they take the steps and hardships necessary to get their business to the next level.
The ability to never give up.
Persistence.
Basically, I think connecting with the customer and creating that connection that nobody's going to want to come to a business where they don't feel a connection to the people behind the counter.
Hard work.
Persistence.
Never give up. I think an entrepreneur needs to have a clear vision of what it is that they want to accomplish.
Vision. Passion.
No fear.
How important is entrepreneurship to Carroll County?
Well, it's incredibly important here. It's incredibly important everywhere.
The more people you have who are entrepreneurs, who are creating, the more of those other kinds of jobs that you'll have.
Carroll County is really dependent on our small businesses, and we have such a high rate of small businesses being both successful and really hardworking to get our county to the next level, just like their businesses.
It'll make or break Carroll County.
Very important. It's important to every community, every enterprise.
It's the entrepreneurs and the local businesses, the small guys, that turn into be the big guys.
And that's what runs the country. So small businesses are extremely important to the day-to-day people and communities around here in Westminster.
Extremely. It is becoming the lifeblood.
I would have to agree. I think that you can't do anything without entrepreneurs.
I think it's vital to Carroll County in keeping business here and attracting more business in.
You need to have that entrepreneurial spirit just continue to grow in our county and supply jobs and make sure people are, making their dreams come true.
It's critical. It's the backbone of everything that we do.
I walk up and down the main streets of our communities. There's just so much going on, and it's so exciting to see new businesses opening, new things happening, and that's really what drives our local economy, I think. Thought I was supposed to dance at that part. But anyway, everything, lifeblood, backbone, the future. This is why we do this. The future of Carroll County's economic health and vitality rests squarely in the hands of these pioneering, these magical, these out of this world, and maybe a little bit crazy entrepreneurs who have incredible and inspired ideas and then the guts, the audacity to build the next generation of businesses here in Carroll County. Now, these businesses, of course, they come in all shapes and sizes, everything from Main Street cafes to women-owned gunsmitheries to the next hit social media site.
If we're honest, few, if any, of these businesses will go on to be the next billion-dollar company you read about in the Wall Street Journal. But the reality is that many of them will go on to be successful business owners that create the jobs that the next generation of Carolinians will have, that will put food on the table, that will pay for mortgages and help put the next generation through college. And so it is our mission through the Carroll Biz Challenge to firmly establish and sustain a culture here in Carroll County that inspires, that celebrates, that rewards, and that supports these entrepreneurs to help them make their business dreams a reality. And if that isn't cool enough, that's like the real serious part here. But I think the most fun, the coolest thing for us that are watching these folks do these amazing things is that each year through this competition, we have an opportunity to meet these successful, future successful entrepreneurs, in many cases before they've even created a business plan or before they've opened the doors of that business. And this year, we had the privilege of meeting 27 of these folks. We had businesses like No Limit Vapors, a Main Street retailer of e-cigs and e-juice located in Westminster. We had Sweet Lemons, an online boutique women's clothing retailer. That's a mouthful. But she specializes in flash sales that make online shopping more fun and exciting for working moms. And we also had a company like Bling Sling, a very small but potentially big idea, where the company wants to create and design customized slings and casts to help kids feel better at a time when they're hurting the most. And so you can meet those folks, and of course you're going to meet our 7 finalists and get to know them really, really well. But I encourage you to get to know all 27 of these applicants. You can visit our website. Inside of your program, there's a QR code for you guys to snap. You can go out to carrollbizchallenge.com and read all about them. But at this time, if you are one of the applicants or finalists in this year's competition, I ask that you would please stand now and be recognized. Let's give these folks a round of applause. Awesome. Very good. So we are about to welcome our first finalists to the stage, but there are 2 really important things that need to happen before we do that. The first is that an event of this size and of this caliber and of this scope does not happen for free. It took 27 sponsors to raise the funds that we needed for this event, and these folks were kind enough to support this contest, and I think vis-a-vis supporting the entrepreneurs that we have in our community. And I'm pleased to introduce you to them through this video. Check it out.
Thank you to all the sponsors of the 2014 Carroll Biz Challenge. Our founding sponsors: Gibble Enterprises Holdings, Vox Pop Communication, Carroll County Economic Development. Our platinum sponsors: Azure Group, Community Media Center, Cre-a-tv Studios, McDaniel College. Our gold sponsors: Best Western, Campbell and Keller Team, Carroll Community College, Carroll County Public Library, Carroll Tech Council, Celebrating Moments by Marcy, City of Tawnytown, City of Westminster, Crawford Yingling Insurance, Fusion Dental, Lehigh Cement Company, New Windsor State Bank, PNC Bank, Sonata Ventures Solutions, South Carroll Business Association, Terry's Tag and Title, The French Twist, Town Mall of Westminster, and our cocktail hour sponsor, GSE Systems, and our refreshment sponsor, Chili's. Thanks again for supporting local entrepreneurship and innovation here in Carroll County, Maryland.
And again, just thank you to all of our sponsors. And on a personal note, I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate your confidence in me and my company, the Chamber, for hosting this event. It means the world to me. Now, our next group of folks who deserve our recognition are our Carroll Biz Challenge Advisory Board. These folks have two really important jobs. The first is to make sure that the Carroll Biz Challenge continues to evolve to meet the ever-changing needs of Carroll County's small business community. Their second job is certainly not an envious one. They spend hours reviewing and scoring and discussing each of the applicants' entries and making that tough call to select our finalists here tonight. And every year they have to turn away a lot of really deserving folks, and it's never fun to do that, but it's important nonetheless to continue to have this experience here in our community. And at this time, I'm going to say the advisory member's name. I'm going to ask that you please stand and be recognized. John Wheatman from Carroll County Department of Economic Development. Don Lavin from McDaniel College. Mike McMullen, the president of the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce. Rich Austin from Vox Pop Communications. Nate Roman from the Azure Group. Tina Wagner from Cre-a-tv Studios. And Sherry Taylor from the Community Media Center. And let's give all of our advisory members a round of applause. All right, so that's enough of kind of the official business, if you will, and we are literally about to begin. But I want you guys to know exactly how this program works. Each of our finalists is going to come up here where I am, and they're going to give their best 5-minute pitch. And I do mean 5 minutes. If they go over, they will be cut off. And then, as I mentioned before, as a reward, after getting that done, they have to then stare at some judges who you all will meet in a moment, who will be grilling them for up to 5 minutes. Now, something new we're trying, and I'm entrepreneurial and I'm willing for this to fail, is that I'm taking text questions and comments this year. So I have my phone, it is on silent, so feel free to entertain me at the least. Give me something to laugh at. Shoot a question that you want to ask one of our finalists, and I will do my best to weave it into the question and answer. Again, if I forget about it, if it doesn't work, please forgive me, but let's try this out. But after each of our finalists has taken the stage, we will be having a second intermission. And during that intermission, you guys out there in the crowd are going to have an opportunity to cast your vote for your favorite entrepreneur. One of the most fun things for me as being the host and running this thing is listening during that intermission and hearing you all talk about the ideas, talking about whether you invest. Maybe you have a better idea. Maybe you had a judge question. And I look forward and I hope you guys enjoy those conversations tonight and after tonight. But your one collective voice is that People's Choice Award vote. And so whoever receives the most audience votes will receive the $500 Vox Pop Communications People's Choice Award. And then the second thing that's going to happen after each finalist has pitched is that our judges will recess and select the $5,000 grand prize winner. In the event that they are evenly divided and they cannot decide between two folks, the whole audience will be able to vote again to do the runoff for the winner. All right, so that's all. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce you to our 4 Carroll Biz Challenge judges.
Aaron Davis.
Aaron Davis has founded several companies over the last 25 years, including Next Logical Benefit Strategies, SwitchBridge, and Barney & Clyde. Having assisted in the funding and development of 2 iPhone apps, Run Hero and FanTapper, Aaron's most recent startup, SwitchBridge, is currently developing Wealth, a highly integrated wellness and health app for the iOS and Android platforms.
Dave Burrows.
Dave Burrows is president and founder of Visual Integrators, located in Eldersburg, Maryland. Founded in 2000, Visual Integrators automates and designs software systems and processes around the unique business needs of their clients. Their goal is to save their clients time and money and make technology work for them.
Tony Pomeroy.
Tony Pomeroy has been a member of the Westminster community for over 25 years. After learning the jewelry business from the ground up for over 18 years, she decided to venture out on her own and start her own small business, Pomeroy Jewelers, in May of 2007. Pomeroy's is a full-service jewelry store specializing in custom jewelry design. Tony and her staff personally select the entire store's inventory, focusing on quality and individuality for every price range.
Mike Gibble.
Mike Gibble is the CEO of Gibble Enterprises Holdings, a diversified holdings company and initial stage venture capital firm. Currently, GEH has 6 portfolio businesses ranging from self-serve beer tap technology, architecture, and real estate holdings.
Please welcome to the stage the 2014 Carroll Biz Challenge judges.
Woo! Very good. So Dave, Tony, Aaron, Mike, you guys ready? Make sure your mics are on not mute. Not mute. That's an option. That's what it says. You guys good?
Are we?
Hello, hello.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Our first finalist is larger than life and plans to bring the excitement of NASCAR to a bar, church, or Rotary Club near you. Join me in welcoming Sean Bowman, owner of Bedlam Micrum Speedway, to the stage.
How's everyone doing tonight? Good. All right, good. My name is Sean Bowman, and I am the creator of Bedlam Micro Speedway. Bedlam Micro Speedway was started right here. That's right, I forgot this is not a remote clicker. There it goes. Wait, you get that? There we go. We have a nickname for this called the Pickle. There we go. Okay, 20 years ago, while watching a NASCAR race at this venue, Bristol Motor Speedway, I said to myself, it would be really cool if we could have the experience of this race. Half-mile, high-banked oval, surrounded fully by 160,000 seats, put it right in your living room where all your friends could just race each other. Or better yet, maybe we can go to our favorite watering hole, set it up and race in front of everyone and let everyone join in. And so, Bedlam Micro Speedway was born. Click. There we go. Take this out now. Bedlam Micro Speedway is dedicated to creating realistic racetracks that give a broad range of people from any demographic the ability to race small-scale motorized vehicles at any location in which people gather to forget about the stress of everyday life. Okay, I know that's a mouthful. So we kind of, unofficially, it's simple. I make racetracks to race cars, electric race cars, in front of all your friends where you can legally drink and drive. How about that? The main components of a Bedlam Micro Speedway are the racetrack to race the cars on, of course, the race cars themselves, and a lap counter so you can count laps. Because really, who wants to race and have to count your own laps? But most of all, it's got to be durable, and we only use American products with us, and I think that's very important. There we go. Bedlam Micro Speedway was started right here in Carroll County, back in the 70s. Anybody here from the 70s? Anybody? Okay, don't admit it, it's okay. But back then, we would race anything. If you gave us little toy Hot Wheel cars, we'd race those down the sidewalk. Gave us marbles, no problem. We'd race those on Hot Wheels tracks, go figure. If it rained, no problem. Put on your rain gear, go outside. We would race toothpicks down the gutters. Why, I don't know, but that's what you do in the 70s. You got to figure out something to pass the time away. And we always said it would be kind of cool if we had a racetrack with high-banked ovals like they had on TV, with a car that had full remote control. And on top of all that, we could, do all kinds of crazy race layouts. I said, it's on, no problem. Our micro speedways are portable, interchangeable, and customizable. Every piece matches itself. You don't need a tractor trailer to haul it around in like my competitor. Individuals of any physical or mental capacity could actually race our cars. We've even had a blind child race on our racetracks. But our biggest aspect is STEM education. I had no clue that I created something that I was actually going to learn from, okay? What's STEM education? It's the integration of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. On the science end, we can use lithium polymer batteries that are used in electric cars, okay? On the technology end, we can use brushless motors, which are now the industry standard in heavy industry. Also, we've got the engineering aspects of gear ratios, aerodynamics, and my favorite is the math part, okay? How far or how fast should we make this car go? Or better yet, what's the best way to get money? Should we charge people to race on this for $1, $3, or $5? Or maybe we should just go get sponsors, like my friends at Fastenal. They solved the problem for us by how to fasten the track together. I said, okay, I'll stand by you all and wear your shirt here. There we go. It's fun for all ages. You see in the middle picture, you've got my girlfriend's father who remembers racing small cars in the 60s. You got Kelly Bell from the Kelly Bell Band on the far right. And he said, it's the first time I've ever had a remote control car. I can never afford it growing up. See, I can bring the action to him. And then we've got little Kendall over here on this side. She loves Disney. She saw the racetracks and she said, I don't care. I put my car on the track. I want to race. Bedlam Micro Speedway. It's awesome for everyone. It's good fun, and we're going to bring well over 1,000 jobs to Carroll County.
Let's give Sean a round of applause.
Questions?
My first question is this, and you've mentioned it, and this hesitation is very discerning. The 60s and 70s twice. The 60s and 70s were when this niche took off. In the 1980s, this niche was defeated by the arcade or the video game industry. What is your marketing strategy to bring this niche back?
What we've noticed is people really do want to unplug and socialize at the same time. Yes, video games had a hand in slowing down slot cars, RC cars, but they kind of slowed themselves down, overpricing themselves, and then if you had a business like that, you had to have a brick and mortar placed for your racetracks. They're not portable. That's why I said you got to have a racetrack you can take to the people. And this is why hobby stores or other facilities would buy my product, because they want to have a way to reach out to people who would not normally come to them. Okay? And then now with social media, people taking selfie in front of my racetracks. Hey, I'm a girl. I just beat my boyfriend. He owes me $10. Whatever. You know, it's a lot of fun.
I have a question. So can you rent this, or is it something that you purchase and can make it anything you want?
Our goal is to get people to purchase their racetrack systems and then rent them out doing their own events. This is a global business. Now with Facebook, I've got interest from Chicago, Honolulu, Hawaii, even Qatar in the Persian Gulf. I can't be everywhere at once. I'd love to. My girlfriend would kill me. So anyways, that's the goal. Sell the entire racetrack as a complete system ready to go, where whether you leave it in your home and race it yourself, or if you want to go and say, for a birthday party, $300, you can race on my track. Or you can go to like a state fair and say, okay, $1 for one race, let's go.
And what's the average price on a track?
Right now, our price point is just under $8,000, okay? My competitor's price for a racetrack, 4 cars, and a lap counter, we sell it for $8,000. He sells his for $47,000. So we're beating him a little bit. His product is a good product. It's meant to be commercial only, not to be in your home, not to be carted around everywhere. So,
Sean, what components do you manufacture?
Okay, the components of the cars they're all manufactured in Ohio. As far as the car itself, of course, the electronics, they come from Hong Kong. The lap counter is made in Vancouver, Canada, but then we build the bridge or the gantry that goes over top the track. I design the racetrack. I fabricate the racetrack. We will be assembling the racetrack right here in Carroll County.
Fantastic. What about any advertising revenue? You thought about that?
Okay.
In terms of advertising on your product?
It depends on what event we're doing. Okay, let's say if I'm going to do a local carnival, let's say at Reese Carnival, I would charge someone, okay, we're going to be there for a full week. I'm going to have about 10,000 people throughout the whole week. Let's do $1,500. It's always negotiable. Our goal is to start doing the larger events. We've already made plans to be at the Daytona Motor Speedway during Speed Weeks. And we can tell people you can either pay $500,000 to be on the hood of that NASCAR. Just give me $100,000. I'll take good care of you.
Good luck.
As the VC in the group, I'm always interested in flexibility and scalability. What is your comeback factor? Why not make these cars customizable for folks that want to race these faster?
We've got all that already taken care of. In the hobby industry, the brushless motors have been the biggest. Right now, the world record for an electric race car is 202 miles an hour. So on this size car, I could make it go 100 miles an hour. You got to pay me. But also, as far as, different cars, I can make any car body fit the car here. This has got a Camaro body. We can do NASCAR. We can do station wagons. We can do minivans. You like big rigs? We're about to make a big rig to drive around if you want to do that. We can cover anything. Any kind of vehicle can be made with this. And also, the big technology jump is having a forward-looking camera like a drone. Yeah, I'll be able to race the car out here on the stage from back in that room.
What sort of jobs will you have? You said you might employ a...
Manufacturing, so this is fabrication, IT jobs, and marketing.
Very good. That's all we have time for. Let's give Sean a big round of applause. All right, our next finalist is the first nonprofit business idea to make it to the finals of the Carroll Biz Challenge. The only thing that stands in their way for them to open Carroll's first public charter school is an initial round of fundraising and locating the future home of the school. Please join me in welcoming Adrian Stenger and Nicole Musgrave from Sustainable Futures to the stage.
Hi, I'm Nicole.
And I'm Adrian. And
we don't have slides.
I apologize. The Montessori School is what's listed as the next slide. Is that incorrect?
that's correct. Yes. That's us.
Please hold the clock. Okay, we're ready.
There we go.
All right. Our mission is to to strengthen the educational system in Carroll County, and we want to do that by introducing a public charter Montessori school. We'll be held to the same standards as regular public school. However, we'll be introducing Montessori methods into the teaching, and basically our goal is to try and make Montessori education available and affordable for everybody.
I apologize. Please talk in the microphone, please. Thank you.
Public charter schools are public schools. They are schools of choice. They're non-sectarian. They are tuition-free. And children can go to a public charter school without any admission testing. The only requirement is that they're eligible to go to school in Carroll County anyway. Sustainable Futures started as a group of parents and teachers that had kids in Montessori school sitting in someone's living room. There were kids and dogs running all around, and we were talking about what's going to happen when our kids finish Montessori preschool. Where are they going to go? Are we going to have to send all of our kids to private school? Is public school going to be good enough for them? Are they going to fit in the public school? Do they like the public school? And that got us to where we are today.
And where we are today, we're a 501c3 corporation, and we've been approved to open a Montessori school, public charter Montessori school, by the Carroll County Board of Education in 2015. A couple of things that I really liked about the Montessori method that really stood out to me when I first heard about this were the fact that they had mixed age classrooms, so that gave opportunities for advanced children to mentor the younger children, and also the fact that the learning environment was more of a self-directed learning, therefore harnessing the natural curiosity of children and allowing them to explore topics in greater depth.
Our school will use Montessori methods and materials and Montessori teachers. In Montessori, the classrooms have a very family-like environment. The students are with the same teacher for 2 to 3 years, so they really get to know their classmates, they know their teacher. The teacher really believes in the students. It's a very community atmosphere. We've attracted the interest of students not only from other Montessori schools, but private schools, homeschoolers, and children that just aren't fitting in the traditional public school system.
We have a partnership with the Board of Education, kind of the structures up on the slide. It'll be a tuition-free school, and not only do we know that we'll have interest from students, but we've heard from instructors who are Montessori certified, and so we think we're in good shape there.
We're going to be hiring at least 20 teachers and teaching assistants, and then in addition, the school staff, the principal. We expect that that once the school is open, there will be new jobs to Carroll County.
All right, our board is comprised of volunteers who have a variety of backgrounds, including backgrounds in law, accounting, business, and technology. Also, we believe with the Montessori style of education, the children will have many opportunities to work hands-on and to not only learn, but to apply and try out ideas and experiment with them. We believe this will be great to help them become the next leaders and entrepreneurs for Carroll County.
We really hope for this school to be embedded in Carroll County and really part of the community, not only with the children and the families, but with the businesses. We think that we can bring in some of the local businesses as resources. Maybe we'll have a school fundraiser with a micro speedway, maybe a school garden started with hydroponics. Just a lot of really cool stuff that we can do and involve the community, and we've been using some of the community resources already. Our goal tonight is to win the Carroll Biz Challenge, and the prize money is going to help us build our marketing fund. The more money we have, the more we think we can bring in.
So please help us to build the future of Carroll County and for our children, and we'd like to have your vote. Thanks.
Very good.
I have a question. I see you're going to take Carroll County pupil allotment from the county, which I believe is 14,000, roughly.
We will actually only get $9,000. The county holds some money back for administrative.
So when you factor in your entire plan, what is your per pupil allotment in terms of how much money you have to raise above and beyond the $9,000 that the county is going to give you?
Right now, with the $9,000 per pupil, once we're at full capacity, we can break even minus the rent on the facility. So once we find a facility, we just need the money for the rent.
What is that? I know you have to have a fundraise by a certain point of time. You have to have a site, you have to have a facility, you have to pay the staff. What are those details?
Okay. Right now, we've been looking at some facilities. We haven't found one yet that's perfect for us. We're looking at about $250,000 on the top range per month for our rent. And then on top of that, build out costs, if necessary. A lot of the spaces that are available are flex spaces, so they're just empty warehouses. They would need to be configured to be a school. So we're looking at probably $500,000 to $750,000 to do that, depending on the facility. We're very cognizant of the fact that we want to get this right. We don't want to just pick a spot to get a spot. So we do have the option with the Board of Education that we can delay the opening of the school 1 year while we try to find that perfect place.
I have a question. So how many kids do you have on board before the door even opens? And how are you attracting new children to your school and embedding them in this plan?
Right now, so far, everything has been totally grassroots. It's been word of mouth, it's been Facebook, it's been email. We've just employed Vox Pop to do a PR plan for us, and we hope to bring more students in with that plan. Right now, I think we have enough students to fill 1 of our 8 classrooms, which I think is great for not having anything tangible at all.
Well, kudos for the reach out to your competitors here. That was fantastic. Very creative.
We're all one big family.
That's great. And you said you would have 20 teachers at full capacity?
Yeah, we're looking at in the first year, we'll start with kindergarten through 3rd grade. We'd have 8 classrooms. On top of that, we have specials. There's going to be a school nurse, a principal, the office staff.
How do salaries compare with what the public schools paying?
The teachers are employed by Carroll County Public Schools.
Are.
So what are the transportation needs for the students?
The transportation is the responsibility of the families. What has happened in other charter school communities is that there's carpooling, the families come together and try to figure out what works best. There is also a possibility that we could buy back transportation from the county, but since this school is open to the entire county, we could have 2 or 3 students from Union Mills and 2 or 3 students from Sykesville all trying to get to Westminster. So it's just really working out once we have the students.
Cool. We have a question from the audience I want to interject. This is really to help us understand a little bit more about the logistics. Charter school is kind of strange here in Carroll. So explain to us kind of why not start with an existing private school to work as kind of this site for the public chartered school? Is that on your radar? Is that not how this works? Please explain that to us.
The charter school law actually says that you cannot form a charter school from a private school.
Okay, very good. All right, that's great. Let's give Sustainable Futures a big round of applause. All right, and before we hear from our 3rd finalist, please avert your eyes to the screen to see a word from one of our founding sponsors, the Carroll County Department of Economic Development.
Welcome to the Carroll Innovation Center at Overton. I'm John Wheatman, Administrator of Operations and Small Business Development at the Carroll County Department of Economic Development. Happy today to show you a little bit about the Innovation Center. It's our new public-private partnership with Overton and Associates to provide a place for entrepreneurs to begin. Beautiful space, as you'll see, and we have some different level packages that fit just about everybody's needs too. If you're just looking for a place to drop in, a place to just drop your laptop, do some work, use this as a mailing address, meet clients, use the conference room, use the Wi-Fi that's available, and even use our copy and print center, there's an entrepreneur's package for you. It's $130 a month, and it gives you all of those amenities. If you're looking for something a little more than that, you'll see that there's beautifully appointed and furnished office space. Locking door, you keep the key, you drop in and out as you'd like. You also get the benefit of the Wi-Fi, copy and print services, on-site business services, and use of the conference room. If you're looking for something in the middle, there's the Pioneers package. I hate to call them cubicles because, as you'll see, they're a lot nicer than cubicles, but it's a middle area. You want a place that's yours, a place that you come back to that no one else is using, but maybe you don't need a locking door and the added expense at that time. You still have the availability of the Wi-Fi, copy and print center, conference room privileges, and the on-site business services. There's a beautiful kitchen that can be used, a place to have some lunch, to meet with other entrepreneurs, and that's available and included in the package as well. And there you have the Carroll Innovation Center at Overton. It's open, it's ready for business. All that's missing is you. The Carroll Innovation Center at Overton is your place to begin.
If our next finalist has it her way, residents of Carroll County and beyond will be able to enjoy fresh heirloom vegetables year-round that have been grown using the latest in hydroponic growing techniques. Please join me in welcoming Tammy Jones, owner of Jones Hydroponics, to the stage.
Hello, everyone. I want to tell you about my soon-to-be future business, Jones Hydroponics. We'll be growing heirloom tomatoes, peppers, and lettuces hydroponically. When you think of farming, you usually think of traditional methods where you would take a seed or a seedling, put it in soil that you've gotten ready for that specific plant, relying on your growing season, which have limits, as well as the nutrients as the soil provides to the plants if you haven't made sure it's gotten everything it needs. And then you have tomato plants that need support, of course. So with hydroponic farming, you can see here we have lettuces growing in, it looks like a gutter system, and tomatoes growing in beto boxes. And even though they're grown inside of a greenhouse, they will still need support so the fruit does not get bruised. Doing it this way, I will be able to grow the produce year-round and guarantee the flavorful, wonderful produce that you expect to get off of a plant in the middle of the summer throughout the year, even in February. So the basics of hydroponics, I found a cute little diagram here. Just so you know, I put it into the local typical search engines to growing hydroponics, and it put me on growing marijuana hydroponically. So if my name's in the county Times here that I'm being picked up on suspicion, it's not true, please. So anyway, this is the closed loop system. This is the lettuces. You have a reservoir of water. It's pumped up. There's actually a computer system that will add the nutrients to the plants that they need through each stage of the growth. So the water that's left over at the end will drain down and can be reused. As you can see, the actual plant, the nutrient-filled water, and it cycles around. So moving on, we have the equipment, some of it that I will use. You have the beto boxes that are ready for tomato seedlings in the greenhouse structure. One of the computer systems that will be needed to monitor the nutrients for the plants and the temperature as well. The greenhouses themselves, not glass, they're a poly that is weather resistant. And right here you see that I will have beehives for each greenhouse that will pollinate the plants for me. So the reason I got into hydroponics, my arch nemesis, I'm sure most people know what the brown marmorated stink bug is. In my house, the nicest thing I call them is Frustratus insectus. Here we go. Yes, my neighbor children call me crazy stink bug lady because I collect them voraciously. So my main problem, these are tomatoes from my traditional garden that I grow yearly. The lower one, all of these were picked within a few days of each other. You can see the damage. That was about 3 days after picking a pristine looking piece of fruit from the plant. The other ones are about 5 to 7 days. This is damage, typical that stink bugs in our area, and they're only one of the pests that we would have to worry about with traditional farming. With hydroponics, you don't have to worry about pesticides or insecticides. This is how I remove them off my house. So we talk about the future clientele will be places like Wegmans and Whole Foods, where I will, they're known for wanting wonderful heirloom produce, and the people that will purchase that, they shop there specifically. Also local restaurants, the County Cork right here, Brick Ridge and Mount Airy, And Clyde's, even Columbia, they all source local, and you can tell by what they sell to us and they make. Okay, so my competitors, I found a few. They're across the Bay Bridge, and they concentrate their efforts on the Eastern Shore. My main competitor will be Mock's Farm and Greenhouse in West Virginia. He's doing everything that I want to do, and he will be, I'm modeling my business after his. My husband and I actually visited his and had a tour of his farm where he welcomes competition. In '05, he started his business with 2 structures. By '06, he had his first crop. The last I saw on his website, he has over 20 structures and is diversifying his crop and cannot keep up with demand. He welcomes the competition. Well, basically, thank you. This will just be some of the equipment that I'll be using. Here you go, seedlings, the lettuces, and final product.
Very good. Let's give Tammy a round of applause.
From a price range perspective, how much more do these tomatoes cost than the regular ones that we get in December, January, and February from Giant?
There is a price increase, and with demographics, people are willing to pay that for the flavor. I have a brother-in-law who is not very fond of paying extra, but he is interested. So if I'm selling to a grocery store for, say, $4 a pound, the markup is actually not very much. I think it runs about $1 more a pound at the most, because they tend to offset in other places of their store to kind of make up for that difference.
Are hydroponics organic, non-GMO?
Well, there's no GMO. I will be sourcing organic seeds only. Now, the product, I can go organic. There's a little bit more that goes into it, and it will be a slightly higher cost. Generally, no, it is not. But I can guarantee no pesticides or herbicides, not having to worry about runoff from animals or whatever in the soils, because I'm able to keep all of that protected.
How long does it take to get the crop going so you actually have something?
Generally, I would seed start in January. I would have the crop by, it's 8 or 9 months. So it's kind of a nothing, no profit for almost the first year. But by the time the crop comes in, it's the change of the seasons when people are looking around for that flavor. I'm missing it, and we're just barely a month or so out. Yeah, so about a year.
And then you said stink bugs. How do you prevent them from getting in?
You do not. Well, they do come with insect covers on the package that I would be purchasing to grow this. Stink bugs are funny. When they are indoors, they do not reproduce. If there were some reason that I were to get, say, an aphid that would attack the lettuce, I would bring in, use integrated pest management with using like a small parasitic wasp. Does not attack people at all. I have them in my garden, everyone does. It would eat that specific bug, and then I would be able to keep the plants growing and looking wonderful where people are going to want to purchase them.
What is your background of training in farming?
Nothing. I went to college for education, decided that teaching is not for me. We moved here a little over 8 years ago. I was already growing on our townhouse at a deck, and I was already growing plants in pots. I have a 30 by 60 garden now. I lose approximately 80 to 85% of my produce to stink bugs alone every year, and I originally wanted to grow traditionally. No interest in hydroponics until we heard about Mock's Farm on NPR. Actually, my husband's like, I'm sick of hearing you talk about this. There's something you can do about it. So, yes.
How will you fund your startup?
I will be developing my business plan and going for investors to banks like that.
Probably talking to me.
Yes, hon.
Strategically, you keep talking about this Mock's Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, they're going to be your competitor.
Yes.
What is your marketing plan to beat them? Or what is your price point to get below them?
It is below them. I know that he is currently selling at $5 to $6 a pound, and I know that I can make $4 a pound and break even, well, actually be profitable by my 4th year, fully profitable. I'm sorry, 1.9 years. Less than 2 years, I can start a profit at $4 per pound for heirloom tomatoes.
So what's the startup capital needed?
Let's see, if I were to go build on my yard, let's say with one greenhouse, I would need $51,000. Okay, that's without flooring. I would need $63,000. It's a heated flooring as opposed to another source of heat. Now, if I were to do 2 units, I would have to have a farm because there's no way I could put it on the size property I have. So I would have to get land. I do not need a lot of land. There's a lot of sustainability in this. I can grow 30 to 40% more produce per acre than an average farmer can. So I could grow on an acre in a year, probably 30,000 pounds of tomatoes. So if I were to go large and do a 6-acre, about $200,000 for that. So I would need that money there, and then I would look into solar to help offset the costs of heating as well.
I have another question. So it takes about 9 months before the crop comes in. So how would you support yourself and do what you need to do for the produce and the tomatoes and things to keep it going? Because that's going to be hefty.
It is going to be hefty. I'm fortunate that I don't have to worry about one part of it. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband works, and he supports me. I would have to have capital to help with that. I would be able to, like with lettuce, like the tomatoes are the 8 months. I didn't think to mention lettuces are quick. They turn around much faster than tomatoes. And though they're not quite as high of a dollar value crop, they still are very sought after, especially the different varieties, black-seeded Simpsons, all these. You sell a purple tomato or a spotted lettuce. People might think it's odd, but someone who enjoys that is going to seek that out. So I will have some revenue. It wouldn't be as high as when the tomatoes come in.
Very good, Tammy. Let's give you a round of applause. Great job. All right, our next finalist has an online tool that promised to make the lives of event planners and managers a whole lot easier. And maybe in my case, I wouldn't have lost so much of my hair over the last 3 years. But please join me in welcoming Justin Panzer, CEO of Eventuosity, to the stage. You just came up here like a boss and took that from me.
I thought that was the agreement, no? Tina just yelled at me to speak into the mic, so I'm going to be the loudest so far. Not my fault. She's over there. Okay. I'm Justin Panzer. I'm the CEO of Eventuosity, and we're moving. Eventuosity is the first cloud-based SaaS application for professional event planners to manage all the people, logistics, and everything else that goes along with planning events. Now, when we talk about events, we talk about a lot of different things, and there we go. Some of them you may be familiar with: trade shows, conferences, sales and training. I've been all of these things at one point in my life. At some points, I've been all of these things at once, and that's a pretty typical story. Event planners, especially in the corporate event space, there's over 2.5 million of them, and a lot of them don't even consider that their real job. Now, if you know somebody that plans events, and this was the story of my life, they're expected to do a lot of different things. So Jason's talking about some of the things that made his hair fall out. I'm no different. Budgets, tracking people, making sure equipment gets to the right place, optimizing all of our resources. Basically, if you're an event planner, you are being asked to do it all for your attendees, your staff, your volunteers. But you're being asked to do it all in the face of a very, very different environment than what we faced in the past. First of all, budget cuts. No question, especially when we're talking about things like marketing events, trade shows, the resources are not there anymore. As a result, budget approval process, approval to get our events even in the calendar is just taking much, much longer. We're losing about 41% of the time it normally takes, ideally, to plan an event. And in a big data world where everything can be measured, we need to prove that events have some kind of contribution to our business. Are they generating customers? Are they generating brand awareness? Are they training our salespeople? What is the outcome that is benefiting our business? It's not just good enough to say we need to be there. And now the problem becomes even worse because we're doing it with all the same tools we've always used. Spreadsheets, to-do list applications, a big event binder, okay? The market has changed, the conditions have changed, the world has changed. We're using the same old stuff. This is the big event technology gap that we find ourselves in. What we do is we bridge that gap. We cover from the front end to the back end, everybody registered with Eventbrite. You've all used it before. It's easy. We integrate with that, but we give the planner the tools to then communicate, collaborate, move things around, optimize, and eliminate all of those spreadsheets and manual processes. This industry has grown to $29 billion without anything focusing on this middle space until now. We've built the product. What we've invested so far in the company has built the product. You can see right there, that's the web app that we have. It's out there commercially. But of course, events don't happen in an office where you've always got access to your computer. So we've got a mobile app as well. It works for the planner, and it also works for the attendees and the staff and all the people that need to be reminded and constantly plugged into everything that's going on while they're moving around. We have customers. This is a SaaS application. We sell it on a subscription basis, and we have a number of customers who are realizing benefits like saving time, saving money, improving the overall attendee experience, and the result is that our ROI from those events goes up. That's the big data analytics that we're talking about, and we can provide reports as well that show how we're doing. Some of our customers are listed on the slide behind me. We turned our first revenue about 3 weeks ago. We're looking at converting a lot of our beta users right now, and we are moving forward to grow this business to about $27 million by the end of 2018. We hope that that $27 million stays primarily here in Carroll County with an OpEx of 8.4, with all of the space that we need and all of the other resources that go along here with building this business.
Let's give Justin a round of applause. All right, Dave, you're a tech guy. Why don't you take the first question?
I have a lot of questions. When I was looking through your application, not a technology per se question, I noticed you're located out of Philadelphia.
Correct.
So I'm trying to figure out how your connection is to Carroll County other than living in it, because it says you were going to hire 3 people next year out of your headquarters, which is in Philadelphia.
Right.
So I'm trying to picture the Carroll County connection.
Okay, perfect question. So I live here, and I'm commuting to Philadelphia because I have free space there. The issue becomes I'm commuting there, and it's not sustainable. We will maintain the office in Philly as long as we have the free space, because my 2 co-founders who are family live there. My goal, because we're in the event space and our customers are associations, they're nonprofits, they are event management companies, and they're based in the DC corridor, we need to be closer, we need to be here. My goal is to take the 5,000 from tonight, and that's immediately going to get us some office space at the Overton Center.
The key to this business is the technology. Are you the technology guy?
I'm partly the technology guy. My brother, who is the co-founder, is our CTO. He's a former software developer, and now he's a lawyer. He's an IP attorney. We contracted out the development. We have 5 full-time developers and a 6th guy who's a project manager on this. One of the first things that we'll hire next year will be an internal vice president of product who will be working underneath my brother.
Where are they located?
Hopefully here. We need to find that person. We haven't identified them yet. We haven't even started looking yet.
I don't have a question as much as a comment. I would have loved to seen some feedback from the people who have already used it, the product, and to see how they felt about it, how it made them, made their event planning easier and things like that. It would have been nice to hear like a feedback from that.
Okay. And we do have some of that, which I'm happy to share.
How do you primarily acquire a customer? I mean, is it a trade show? Is it online marketing? Like, how do you acquire?
It's all of those things. So I'm a marketing person. That's my background in new product introduction, new product commercialization, and technology marketing. I worked in the wireless communications and software business for 20 years. We're doing a lot of social media. We are doing several trade shows and demo events. We are in the process. We have invested quite a bit of our own money in building the product. We're looking to raise a round of capital right now, and about 45% of that would be going directly to marketing. Our plan for next year is to go to 10 different industry trade shows where we're demoing the product. We do great. Whenever we demo the product, we get customers. I did the TEDCO Expo last week pitching for money, and I walked out of there with 4 customers. So, you know, this is the kind of product that as soon as you see it, you buy it.
Do you have any patent protection?
We're working on that right now, so we have some trademarks that are protected, and the patent filings are being worked on right now. As I mentioned, my brother is the patent attorney, and he understands right down to the kernel level of the code. We're looking at filing 2 patents, hopefully right after Thanksgiving, before the end of the year.
What will the essence of those patents be? What makes it unique?
My brother, who's the lawyer, would tell me not to talk too much about it in this room. What I can tell you is it has to do with some of the process, not necessarily taking event planning and putting it into an app, but it's some of the way we do it behind the scenes and some of the code and the way it's written and the way it connects certain pieces that gives us a competitive and protectable advantage.
So do you have some of those bridges built already, front end, back end, that you were showing on the screen?
Yeah, so we have a number of things that are in place already that sync or connect with common calendar and contact applications. We have some things that work with tools like Eventbrite. We have export capabilities that go directly into things like Concur and other back-end. We're also working on a couple of things that are related to Salesforce.com, since so much of these are for marketing and sales events.
I have a quick question for you from the audience. So how much does this thing cost a guy like me to buy, or bigger guys with more events than me? And how many do you need to sell to be profitable? You have to be quick.
Four packages, $9 a month, $49.99, and $199 a month. And we need about 1,500 subscribers to be profitable. We expect that by about February of 2016.
Very good. Thank you so much, Justin. Awesome. Let's give all of our first half finalists a round of applause. Thank you all for the texts. I have laughed several times, not out loud, but if I do have a special button to kill, you can't hear me anymore, so it's all good. We have arrived at our first intermission. In just a moment, I'm going to dismiss you all to spend 15 minutes hanging out, grabbing more food. But I do want to encourage you to really try to connect with the finalists and the applicants just to get to know them during this intermission. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you back here in about 15 minutes. Thanks.